Today we have Dr. Shruti Joshi as an expert panel, and she's an Ayurvedic physician, and she has a rich 8 years experience in practicing Ayurveda and especially classical Ayurveda. And she's one of our panelists from Just for Heart's panelist experts. So the aim is basically to propagate Ayurveda as a preventive healthcare towards patients' welfare. So her aim is very clear to promoting Ayurveda as a preventive healthcare medicine. So I welcome Dr. Shruti for today's session. Dr. Shruti, you're there?
Yes, Pooja.
Yeah. Can we have your video?
Pooja, I'm sorry. I think you have put my video off.
No.
Yes, now it is.
Yeah. We have Dr. Shruti with us. Dr. Shruti, now over to you, and let us know your experience about Ayurveda and how it can help us in the respiratory health, particularly, which is very important nowadays. So how we can maintain our respiratory health and prevent any kind of respiratory infections. So over to you, Dr. Shruti. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pooja. Yes, good evening and namaskar to everyone. So as Pooja has introduced, I am Dr. Shruti Joshi, associated with Just for Hearts. So I have been practicing Ayurveda, and my main aim is to propagate Ayurveda as a preventive health care to fight against all the diseases. So today my topic is Ayurveda for respiratory health. Now, as the COVID-19 infection is going on, so I think we need to take care of the most important health system of our body, that is the respiratory system. Now, first I would like to start, what is breathing? Now, why breathing? You will say, what you want to tell me about breathing? Now, first I'll tell you why we need to understand what is breathing. Now, breathing is the most active and important organ of the body, which is running 24/7 and all the time, all seasons. Like if it stops, then it leads to death, right? Now, if there is digestive system, if you fast sometimes, do just to give rest to your digestive system, that's fine. Like you can survive without food for a day, but if you stop breathing, that is impossible to survive. So that is why it is very important to understand why breathing and what is all involved in that, and why we should give importance and how we should take care. So in that manner, I have put some points in Ayurvedic perspective, how you need to take care of the respiratory health. Pooja, can we have the next slide? Yeah, so I want to tell you now relation of Ayurveda and respiratory health. Now, how respiratory health is explained in Ayurveda. Now, actually, this respiratory health is called as Shvasana Kriya. Now, what it all involves is the oxygen which we are taking in. That is called as Pranavayu. Pranavayu because that gives us life to the body which is just still. So it gives life to the body. So that is called as a Pranavayu. And there are other three factors which is very important. Second is the Udakvayu, which is there in the throat. And then again, there are two other factors, Shleshma Kapha and Avalambak Kapha. These four factors are very much important, which are located at the lungs, which are sthai at the lungs, which are located, which helps for the respiratory function to function normally. So this is the Ayurvedic perspective of respiratory health. Now what happens is, when we take in oxygen and the Udak Vayu, which is there in the throat, that goes in, and this plays a cycle between those two kapha, which I told you, Shleshma kapha and Avalambak kapha. So these two kapha parts and these two vayu parts, they play a cycle, and then the carbon dioxide is coming out. And another important thing which I would like to tell is, in Ayurveda, there is also description that digestive function is also related to respiratory health. Now, why it is? Because now, like if you are eating improper food, or if there is any kind of indigestion, and then there is a ama that is produced, that is a toxic substance which is produced in the body. Okay, what happens is that ama which comes up to the throat, and which the cycle which those four were performing, that ama comes and just disturbs them, And when this disturbance causes, then that results in a mucus like substance. There's a secretion, white substance, that causes destruction in the respiratory tract. And that is why it is very important, when you are taking care of respiratory health, or if you have any symptoms of respiratory health, you should also look into your digestive system, because these are interrelated. And when you solve the digestive system, when your digestive system is fine, the respiratory health also comes under proper function. So this is the Ayurvedic perspective of respiratory health. Okay, so we'll have the next slide.
Yeah, sure, Dr. Shruti.
Yeah. So I said those two parts about how breathing is important, Ayurvedic perspective of respiratory health, how it is important. Now, third thing is, general, there is a discussion that Ayurveda divides the body into two, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Okay, so in this respiratory health, specifically this area, Kapha is predominant, because the, like now, ages also of a human being is divided into three: Kaphaj, Pittaj, and Vataj. Now, when during the childhood area, you can see children are more prone to diseases related to the respiratory health. So that is because of Kapha. So when there is balance in the Kapha dosha, then that disturbs the respiratory system, and then the symptoms can be seen in the children. So this is predominantly seen in the children, and that's why Kapha is predominant. Another thing is Vata is also very important, which is the subdominant factor. So which is also helping the digestive juice, pranavayu, that we said, that Vata, oxygen which is taking in. So Vata and Kapha is both are dominant and predominant in respiratory health. So these factors are very important. So Ayurveda main perspective is to keep the balance of doshas, which helps to normalize the function of the disease of the to cure the diseases and normalize the functions of the body. Okay, so we'll have the next slide now. Now I would like to put a highlight on few causes which are the main reasons for poor lung health. Now, first thing is the industrial pollution. Like if you are situated in an area where there are industries. Usually these kind of industries are always located outskirts of the city. But in case if there is that is also one factor which is causing the poor lung health. Okay, and the second thing is which you are eating abruptly. There is no proper eating habits. You're having lot of this fast food, a lot of cold drinks, and there is no proper routine. So that also creates AMA, which I said, toxins, which also is responsible for the poor lung health. Okay, and the third factor is there already there is a poor health. Like there is already you are associated with various other diseases. Like if you are associated with hypertension, you are associated with diabetes. So there are other factors which has already made your body low, already reduced the normally functioning of the body. That is also one of the cause for poor lung health. Okay, and then next thing is smoking. Smoking is a major factor which is a poor factor for poor lung health, because you might be seeing the advertises also that dhumrapan swasthya ke liye hanikarak hota hai, they say. So that is really very important to understand, because smoking, literally when you see the x-ray of this smokers, you can see the black layer is formed in the lungs. So this actually abrupts and really doesn't allow the normal function of the respiratory system. So that is why that is the main factor which is causing. And the second thing is seasonal changes. Now seasonal changes is not in our hand. It is very difficult to maintain. So in Ayurveda, as I had explained in earlier webinar, that you can have seasonal changes, that is Rutucharya. In Ayurveda, there is specific regimen which has to be followed according to different seasons. When these things are basically followed, then you can remain healthy. Otherwise, this is also one of the cause for poor lung health. And the next factor is stress. Stress is also a major factor, because if there is loss of sleep and you are already much stressed with too many thoughts, so you can just observe, like when you're stressed, you either breathe very hard, or you feel very low in breathing. You're not able to breathe, or your breathing rate also increases faster. So there are either of the cases. So these are the main cases for poor lung health. First is the industrial pollution. Second is the poor eating habits. Fourth is already this health causes other which you are suffering from, Fourth is smoking, other is seasonal habits, next is the stress. So these factors are very important, which are causing poor lung health. Okay, so next thing is symptoms. Now what are the main symptoms what you face? Now usually you go through cold. This is a very common factor which you see. Cold is there, then cough is there, then chest congestion, you feel something uncomfortable in your chest. So, and then throat hoarseness, that you feel there is something pinching in your throat, which is not allowing you to talk, so that you feel the roughness in your throat. So that is also one of the symptoms which you can see. Then swelling is there. Swelling also you can see there is a throat swelling. So this is also one of the symptoms. Then next is the excess mucus, that white substance which I said, like when you spit out, you can see the white thing which has come out. So that is the excess production of mucus. So that is also one of the symptoms. Next thing is stagnation of respiratory tract. There is some blockage of respiratory tract. So this is also one of the symptoms. And then multiple health problems. There are other many factors which are also associated with respiratory health. So you are going through this multiple health problems. Next is a COPD, that when there is poor lung health for a prolonged time, then you will get hold of the COPD and the heart disease. So these are the common symptoms when you face of poor lung health, that is lower respiratory function. So these were the symptoms. Now next, so now Ayurvedic perspective on how you need to take care of these things which I told you, respiratory health. There are 4 major factors. First is the diet. So I'll be explaining each and every one by one. So diet, how you need to maintain, what is the specific care for lung health, what you need to do. Second is the lifestyle, what you need to do. Third thing is use of herbs, what you need to have in day-to-day life. Fourth is the yoga and meditation, what you need to practice daily. Now we will go one by one on how it helps us. First we'll go with the diet. The next slide. Diet. Now see, it's always preferable that you go for freshly prepared food and warm food, which is always fresh, and it actually helps to improve the function of your lungs. So this is very, very important, especially for small children. Avoid giving frozen foods, because that actually increases the kapha production and resulting in various other problems. So second thing is kapha reducing foods you need to give, like rasam. Like in South India, they practice of preparing rasam, that makes of tomato and garlic and pepper. So pepper, these combination rasam is made daily, and they have daily as a soup or either with rice. So this is practiced daily in the winter season especially. So this is very important, when these combination gives taste as well as helps to improve your respiratory function. Second thing is soups you can have. Next thing is you can have ginger, you can have ginger tea, then you can have kashaya. There are various other kashaya which you can have. So this is also comes under diet. Then again, few elements which you need to use in your day-to-day diet. So first is cloves, you can use that, lavang, then elaichi. Elaichi you can use daily in your tea. Then turmeric, which has been used in Indian food, it is used daily. Then next is the garlic, then the cinnamon, dalchini, then pepper. So these things are very, very important to include in your daily diet. Okay, and the next thing, as I said, avoid fried foods, frozen foods, heavy foods, because when you eat heavy foods or frozen foods, that helps in improper digestion, which results in release of ama, and that disturbs your respiratory function. So it is very, very important to take care of your dietary habits. Okay, so next slide we will go with Pooja, we'll go with the next slide. Yes. So lifestyle, how you need to maintain a healthy lifestyle. You need to maintain a same routine daily. Like if you can put a timetable, like in the morning, what time you'll get up and what time you'll have breakfast. If you maintain that daily routine, that helps you to lead a healthy lifestyle. Now you maintain your proper timings, food timings, what time breakfast and mid meals. So you can have such timings, and this should be followed by your whole family as well. The next thing is follow routine as explained in Dinacharya. Now few things which were told in Dinacharya, which has been described in Ayurveda, few things which I would like to tell is, first is the body massage, Abhyanga, which you need to have. Then second thing is Nasya, that is the nasal drops which you need to put, that is either sesame oil or coconut oil or anu tel which we get. So daily if you put in your nose, that also is very, very important factor to improve your respiratory function. So these follow very basic practices which if you follow daily, that helps you to lead healthy lifestyle and proper functioning of the body. Then also next thing is have proper 6 to 8 hours sleep. Sleep is very, very important. When you are in stress, there is less sleep, and that also helps in poor lung function. And so that's why when there is healthy lifestyle, there is equal balance of the doshas, which I said, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So these three doshas will get balanced when there is a healthy lifestyle. So that is why it is very important to maintain proper your food timings and your daily routines. Okay, so at this point, I think we can have a poll, Pooja.
Yes, sure, Dr. Shruti.
Yeah,
Let's interact
I just
with
want
the
to know
audience.
like how regularly you people are following your daily routine. So just one poll.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be sharing the poll.
Yeah. I just want to know like you maintain the daily routine.
Yes, we have shared the poll with the audience.
Okay.
Let's see how many of them properly maintain the daily routine. I'm
I
sure
think
a series of webinar, of information sharing on preventive health and how we can maintain our health in this condition. So I hope our audience will now be much of aware about the proper health care. Let's see. Just few seconds to go.
yeah.
We'll show the results to all our audience.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll now end the poll and
Oh,
are the
good.
results. Yes, so we have a very good audience who is maintaining daily routine. So
Yeah.
we are happy to see that, right?
Yeah, yeah. So good that lockdown has not affected their daily routine, or maybe lockdown has helped them to bring their routine in proper timing. So it is very important to maintain the routine, that you need to have proper your food timings and your exercise timings and follow the dinacharya explained in Ayurveda. Okay, so now we will have the next slide, Pooja.
Yes.
Yeah, so next thing is also I've described about yoga and meditation. Now yoga and meditation, especially, it is very important because Surya Namaskar, especially Surya Namaskar, helps to bring flexibility in your shoulder area, ribs area, back. So where the lung is most situated, where you can take proper care and flexibility is there, and it helps to improve the function of the body. Actually, Surya Namaskar has various health benefits for all the systems, but especially there is flexibility to the particular system. So I would suggest if you practice Surya Namaskar daily, that will be very, very nice. Okay, and next thing is pranayama and meditation. Now pranayama and meditation, you can either like if old age people, they are practicing meditation in front of God, if they are performing some japa, that is also fine. Or second thing is pranayama. Now health is, as we are specifying that breathing is so important, we don't even realize that we are breathing. So it is very important to give some time for that breathing. Just close your eyes and then just feel the breathe, just anticipate what you're breathing and what you're thinking. Your mind will be wandering here and there, but you need to bring back and to the rhythm of the breath. So what you can do is just breathe in, just count 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let that air, oxygen go inside. Let it go in the throat, let it go in the lungs, let it go in the stomach. You can feel that. Initially, it will be difficult to find such, but when you practice daily, you can do it. So you just breathe in, count till 5, let the air go in, go out. This you can practice daily for 20 minutes. So this is very, very important to for our respiratory function. Okay, and the next thing is next slide, Pooja. Yeah, so next thing I would specify specific use of herbs, which is very important for the respiratory health, as we are having the topic. So first is the pipali. Pipali is the lung strengthening, and it is also called as the golden herb. So pipali and vasa also, actually these two herbs are very, very important, and this actually is used in the chavanprash, which you can have daily, and you might do pipali yukt and sona yukt, those all things are there. But in basic chavanprash combination, pipali and vasa and amla, these are the three main factors which is present in the chavanprash, which helps the proper functioning of the respiratory system. Okay, second thing is cardamom. Now, what I would specify about cardamom is you can use that as a mouth freshener. Like instead of having some chewing gum, you can just put cardamom in your mouth and you can just chew that. That actually gives also a fresh breath, and because breathing starts from your mouth, so once your breath is fresh, so that goes inside and you feel fresh. So that aroma also brings some kind of relaxation and also improves your respiratory function. Then third thing is tulsi, which is available in many of the houses. What that is also a great respiratory herb, which is available in everyone's house, that promotes healthy breathing. So what you can do is, once you brush your teeth in the morning, just take a tulsi leaf, 2-3 tulsi leaves, just dip it in honey and you can just have it. So this is like a tonic, like healthy respiratory tonic, which you can have daily. So that actually in small children, if you give that helps to cure cold, cough and fever. Such kind of all respiratory problems the children will never have if you have such practice of eating tulsi. Okay. Fourth thing is eucalyptus. Now that is the Nilgiri oil. Now we usually take those Vicks inhaler which we inhale, right? So instead of that, what I would suggest is you can take a clean kerchief, and then in that you can just few drops of that eucalyptus oil. What happens is with that it refreshes your full respiratory tract. Okay, and that has powerful antioxidants, and also it if you have any irritation in the throat, you feel some kind of relaxation. So this is should be practiced for small children also. You can just put a little, because since it burns, you can just apply a little to the chest area. So that will help to improve the respiratory function, and also just reduce the kapha if is there any. Okay, so this is about the 4 important herbs which has to be used. So we'll go with the next thing. So I just think like your lung will be protected in such beautiful herbs combination. So it is the herbal spring and the immune support for the strong lungs. So when you follow these things which I had told you for respiratory health, use of herbs or the diet, lifestyle, whatever I told you, you just imagine your lungs should be covered with so many herbs, so you will not get affected by any of the factors and you will have a healthy respiratory system. So this was about Ayurveda for respiratory health. Now we'll go with the next slide also, Pooja. Okay, so I just wanted to tell about this one. So Ayurveda has, as I specified, it's for all ages. Now just a small perspective which I would like to share is, for kids you need to go as a preventive approach. Now when there are small kids, few things which you need to take care, like you should not give them frozen foods, you should not give them ice cream, you should not give them fried foods. So this is the perspective what you need to have for kids. For I am specifying for respiratory health mainly. Okay, so and the second thing is for middle age. Now in middle age, all diseases are associated with the lifestyle. So once you have a healthy lifestyle, so you need to have a healthy lifestyle approach. Once your healthy lifestyle is there, then that will not affect your respiratory system and you'll be healthy. And the third factor is old age. For old age, you can your approach should be a holistic approach. Now since in the old age the systems there are already paripakwa, that is they're already ripened. The digestive systems, be it respiratory system, all the systems are already over ripened. So in this case, what you need to have is a holistic approach. Like in Ayurveda, they have described some rasayanas, some herbs, which will help them to improve the functions of the body, as well as anti-aging effects. And third thing is also helps to maintain the age. Like even if the person is growing old, inner health is very important, and that will be maintained by this rasayan aushadhas. So this was the perspective for Ayurveda for all ages and also respiratory health. So this was there from my side, Pooja.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Shruti, for explaining it in a deep way, how Ayurveda can be helpful, especially for respiratory health. And especially those herbs which you have shared are commonly used and easily available at our home, which we all can inculcate in our daily routine habit. And especially for kids, you've explained it very well. So I guess all of us can accumulate all these healthy habits in our daily routine. So now we'll start with our question and answer section. since there are certain questions which are already started coming in. We have a few questions which are asked on Facebook,
Okay.
so we'll be taking those questions also. But before we go ahead, let's start with the first question. You've explained about these herbs, Dr. Shruti. So what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, how many times we can use these herbs in our daily routine? It's starting from morning till evening. How many times we need to consume them, like tulsi leaves or use of eucalyptus?
Yeah. See, what I had specified is few herbs which I told Pitpali and Vasa. What you can do is if you are having in powder form, then that once is enough. You can have 1 spoon and you can mix it with honey and you can have it. Okay. And
Right.
regarding this tulsi leaves also, if you are having in the morning, once you brush your teeth, if you keep a practice, some 5 leaves, like if your kid is there, you can just have 2 leaves and dip it in the honey. So that once will be enough. Okay. And regarding the eucalyptus, that you put it, a clean kerchief should be there, that's it, and just you apply and you can use it for a whole day. Maybe in the evening, if you are working for a long time, if you're going to use it for more time, maybe in the evening, again, after an interval of 8 hours, you can change the napkin and you can again put the eucalyptus oil. So this
Right.
is
It
how
will
you
be, yeah, it will be very useful now, current pandemic situation. So we'll take the next question. Uh,
okay.
you explained about the effect of smoking on our health in your
Yes.
life. So on Facebook, people have asked ki, how dangerous is passive smoking also?
Yeah, actually, see, smoking, if you smoke once or twice, it's going to affect your respiratory health. So completely smoking, stop smoking, that is only the solution. So passive smoking and all, it's not going to help you actually. So that I would not prefer. Smoking definitely some or the other way, like what if a heavy smoker is there, if he's getting affected by the lung for say for few months, 6 months, okay, but this the same who is having passive smoking, he will get affected in another year. So there,
Right.
the damage will be there for sure. So that there is no solution for that.
So the effect will be slower.
Yeah, effect will be there slower.
Since
Yeah.
it is the person is not directly smoking but is coming in contact with the person who is smoking, so
Yeah,
the effect but a little slower than the actual smoke.
little slower,
Absolutely
but
correct.
effect will be there. That's why you need
Right.
to take care.
Yes, absolutely correct. We'll take the other question.
Yeah.
What should be the ideal routine in the pandemic or this lockdown? Since you have explained about the dinacharya, but
Yeah.
uh, what are your views? Ki how should be the ideal routine?
Yeah, see, Ayurveda as has described about dinacharya. So it starts with the morning, waking up in the Brahma Murta, that is 5 o'clock, 4:30 to 5:30. And during this duration, you need to get up. And first, the foremost is brushing your teeth, that everyone does. And then gargling is very important. So what you can do is just have a hot water and add this. You can add some salt, and with that gargling. Gargling meaning you need to hold that liquid for few seconds and then just push it left side, up, down. So this is called as gandush in Ayurveda. Okay, so this thing should be followed. Second thing. Third thing is what you need to do is abhyanga is very, very important. That is body massage. So you need to apply oil. You can either apply the sesame oil or coconut oil is also fine. So that you need to apply daily. So like for joints, you can need to do circular motion massage for your hands and just up to down. This massage is fine. And then after that, nasya is very important. That is also been described in dinacharya. So that is like normal ghee, what you say, sazuk tuk. So that also you need to put two droplets in your nostrils. So that also has very good effect for respiratory system. Okay, this is about nasya. And then next is vyayam. Vyayam, that is Surya Namaskar, has been explained in Ayurveda. So that you can follow, followed by the meditation. And then in your our Indian diet has the herbs which I had described. So that with these basic things plus your dietary habit should be followed. This is about
Right.
dinacharya.
Right. So mind and body, everything should be taken care of in an entire.
Yeah.
Right. Very rightly said, doctor. We'll take another question. If we have a heat issue, then it is supposedly said, tulsi seeds are good to, calm down your body heat. So how much these tulsi seeds should be consumed in a...
See, what you can have is tulsi seeds is also fine, or leaves also you can take. That is also fine. So 1 spoon or 4 to 5 leaves, as I said, that will be enough for an adult.
Okay. Okay.
That will be fine.
Okay. So that should be consumed directly, or how?
It's up to them. It's up to them. Like if they can have, it's a little bit bitter. So if they can have directly, that is fine. Or if they want to get it mixed with honey, that is also fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There is one more question that can you please suggest a remedy for sinus?
Sinus. Yeah, as I told you, Nasya, which is a very important factor described in Ayurveda. So Nasya, like normal ghee, which should be prepared at home, pure ghee, that you can, or Anutel, which you get in the readily available in the Ayurvedic store. What you can do is you can just keep your head below the pillow and just put two drops in each of the nostril. So what, and then just followed by a forehead massage. So what will happen is when this oil or with this ghee goes, so that clears the passage and removes the respiratory tract, and removes and cleans the respiratory tract. So this will help also to clear the sinus. So this is the perfect solution for sinus, and followed by the meditation, that is the breathing exercises. So these two things will help for sinus.
Okay, that's a very good tip you have given for sinus patients, that how they can cure that with the help of Ayurveda. And then Dr. Shruti, we have one more question, that can we use eucalyptus drop in for who frequently have cold problems?
Yes, definitely they can use. Like
Okay.
what you can do, as I told, kerchief, you can apply that. Don't take direct smell. You can make 3-4 layers of that, and in the inner layer you can put the eucalyptus oil, because that is having very strong smell.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. And for small children also, you can just take a very just little drop, and you can apply on the chest and the back area. So too much is not preferred, very little milk, and that should be not direct contact, because that also you will feel the burning sensation in the eyes actually. So you
Okay.
can use it indirectly.
Indirect with layers of
Layers of kerchief. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Then there's a question about steam inhalation. That
Yeah.
how frequent steam inhalation should be done, if for persistent cough and cold.
Yeah, see, I would suggest is steaming is also one thing which you can practice for cold and cough daily. Like if usually cold and cough doesn't go for more than 7 days, it will stay. Though you take medicines, though you don't take. So what is the best solution is steam you can take. And what I would prefer is you can either put that eucalyptus oil in that water, boiling water, or another thing what you can do is cabbage will be there, right? So cabbage you can just grate in that grated cabbage when mixed with water, and it will give some fumes. Okay, so that fumes, when it enters the respiratory tract, that clears the passages, and that will definitely help them to cure their cough and cold. So this will
Okay,
be
so
helpful.
that's a use of cabbage in the
Yeah.
steam inhalation. That's good. That's really good tip.
Yes.
And so I hope our viewer will get answer for the question. And next question, which is asked by our viewer, that is, you have explained about the pipali in your herbs section.
Yes.
So where we can get these
Yes.
pipali, and in Ayurvedic medical store, or we get it in general kirana stores, grocery stores which are there nearby?
No, usually you will not get in the general stores. You will get specifically in Ayurvedic medical stores only. You can just, how you get the powders, right? In the same, you will have some packet of some 100 grams packet you can have. So that pipali powder you can have, or already if you are having practice of eating chawanprash, so already pipali is added in that. So
Okay.
there is not necessary you can have other, or if you want to have powder, then that can be had with 1 spoon with honey.
Okay. Right. So maybe whatever the herbs they have currently, they can use it since it's a lockdown. But once the lockdown is over, they can go out and buy that.
Yes, 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 definitely.
Yes. So as rightly you mentioned about the Chavan, is the most commonly asked question in many of our session. So again, we have a question on Chawanprash.
Okay,
Viewer who is a regular consumer of Chawanprash
okay.
and is asking, I presume this takes care of all requirement that you have specified in your herbs section.
Yes, yes, that almost what I said is 80% of all the herbs which are required for respiratory health has been covered in that. That, as I have said, Pippali, Vasa. So these are the very important factors, and that is there in Chavanprash. So if that is enough, I suppose. But
Okay,
of
so
course, it
all
should be
those,
followed with exercise and meditation for your respiratory health.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
but
So all
regarding
those were
dietary habits,
already
is fine.
taking it. Yeah,
Sorry,
sorry.
sorry, pardon me.
No, no, you can continue.
No, I said they can have these herbs, not required if they are having Chyawanprash, that is fine. No need to take it separately because that has always already been covered.
Right. So that's what I was about to say. Ki all those who are taking Chawanprash, they need not take these separately. They can take tulsi leaves up, but maybe all other things are covered in the Chawanprash, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right. Then let's take another question. There's a question by a
Hmm.
viewer, that usually I get irritation in nose when I come home from outside. So, like after traveling in traffic
Okay,
where there is pollution, uh,
okay.
she is already covering the mouth with whatever the option is available. So,
Mhm.
what do you suggest? Ki what is this irritation because of?
This irritation, I think it is probably because of some allergy. So that is just result of some allergy. So as I said before, nasya, which with the this home prepared ghee or the anu tel, which is available in the markets, if he practices that nasya daily, so I don't think so he will have the problem with that kind of irritation. So that is mainly because of allergy what he is facing. So
Okay.
nasya will help him definitely.
So, how frequently they need to do that?
Nasya is required daily. That is described in
Daily.
Dinacharya, as I said. You, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
daily,
correct.
daily
Daily
they
they
can
need
do
to
it.
follow.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. And continuing to this irritation, so
Hmm.
there's one more question about asthma. Ki
Okay.
home remedies will you suggest for asthma?
See, asthma is a very vast disease, so it is very difficult to just tell abruptly like how it is going to be treatment. So what I just preventive care, what which I told you that regarding the exercise or regarding the use of herbs, so that only can help to prevent. But when there is he is diagnosed with asthma, I think there should be a personalized consultation, and then only the treatment can be given.
Right. So maybe the detailed questioning by you will
Yes,
require
yes,
for that.
yes,
So
yes,
those
yes.
who, so I would like to request the viewer who have asked this question. So you can email your query to consult@justforhearts.org. So our Dr. Shruti can get in touch with you for your consultation. So thank you for the question. Then we'll take one more question that is about Nasya, which you have
Hmm.
that we need to follow it on daily basis. But is it safe
Yes,
to practice Nasya at home, like without doctor's help? I mean, on our own.
yes, yes, that is fine. See, that's what I told you. There is a basic procedure. What you need to follow is you need to keep a pillow below your back, that is below your shoulders, and see that your face is placed a little bit downside. Okay, and then when you're taking some, if you're taking some ghee, just take a clean cotton, dip in that ghee, make it little warm if it is possible, make it little warm, take that cotton and then put some two drops. and just stay for a few time there only, just for say from 5 minutes, and then followed by the head massage just upwards. So what will happen is that oil or ghee, whatever is it, that will go inside all the srotas, what is the tract in the respiratory tract. So that will get cleared. So I think that is easy. You can practice at home. That is not an issue.
Right. So maybe once they can understand how they need to do it, and then they can easily do it
Yes.
their own at their home. Right. We have questions, but we have a time limit, so we'll have to stop. So all those questions which are still pending, so I request all of them to please write your questions to consult@justforhearts.org, or even on the Facebook, you can ask these questions in the comment section. So we can share these questions and queries to Dr. Shruti, and she'll be able to answer all your queries which are still pending and we could not take them in this live session. So yes, thank you so much.